Here we go. It's Friday. Oh, yeah. You hear the music. You see the smile on my face. You see it in the background. It is time now for your Berkshire Hathaway bi-weekly podcast. Realty expert Katlyn Soli is back. We'll talk with her right after this.
Real estate can feel a lot like this, but you should expect more when you're buying or selling a home. You should feel taken care of by someone who can turn jitters into ah. Someone with the tools and knowledge to help you find the one or sell yours.
We'll take it.
Someone who can make real estate feel less like that and more like this. That's Home Services. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services.
All right, and we are back. And I was going to ask you this, Katlyn. Do you prefer the applause or not?
I like it.
Okay, then there we go.
It gets me started.
Yoo-hoo! How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Been a long 2 days since you were in here.
Yeah, I know. Now I have to drive the long drive down to the city.
That's right. You guys are doing your first Christmas this weekend.
Yes.
Oh, well, that's awesome, though, really.
Yeah.
And this is with your family.
It's with my side. Yep.
Okay. And how often do you get to see Mom and Pa?
I would say I go down every, like once every 3 months. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah. So really not enough.
No, it used to be a lot more, but now it's just with work and everything. It's harder now.
Yeah.
But
Well, you're a grown up now.
yeah.
So do you have siblings?
I do. I have an older sister and then a younger brother, and we're 3 years apart.
Okay. Now, do they all get together for this?
Yep.
Okay. And are they married or anything like that?
Sister is, and then brother's engaged, so he'll be married soon.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
Pretty
do you
soon
have any...
we're all going to be married, yeah.
Yeah. Any nieces or nephews?
Not yet, no.
Okay,
just
now...
a lot of fur babies, a lot of dogs in the family.
Oh, yeah. I hear you there. So do they ever get on you like, when am I going to have a niece or a nephew?
Hunter's side more so does that than my side.
Oh,
but
sure. Yeah, well, everybody wants to be a grandparent, you know.
Yeah.
It is fun. One thing I really like about these Berkshire Hathaway podcasts is half the time I spend so much time talking with the realty experts about things that have nothing to do with realty because you guys all have such cool lives. You guys all do so many things on the side. We mentioned that a little bit on Wednesday, and there's a lot to talk about. And then I finally realized I got to maybe buckle down and talk to these people for what they're paying us to talk about. But we had mentioned winter on Wednesday. I know I talked about Christmas lights and things like that. One thing people don't realize, and we're seeing an influx of people from like the West Coast and stuff that are starting to move here now because they're just sick and tired of everything going on out there. It's a lot friendlier here, but things are different. We have a thing called winter.
Yeah.
And they say, well, we have winter too. No, you don't. You don't know. I lived in California. You don't know what winter is. But what about like winter maintenance tips? For some people that might not know. If you own a home, there's things you need to do.
There is, and I was kind of hoping that the snow would have held off before I could say this podcast because there are some things on here that it might be a little too late to do.
Okay.
But, you never know.
It's going to melt again.
I was going to say, if it warms up and snow melts, some of these things are a must that you should do.
They're talking 40s.
Yes.
So, okay.
And I'm excited about that. So far, we've had a really good winter.
Yeah,
Knock on wood.
yeah. Oh,
I hope
really?
it stays like that.
No kidding.
But so first one on my list here, this one made number one because last year I did not do this and it was horrible. So heat strips.
Okay.
I have, the way my roof is, there's valleys that don't get hit by the sun at all during the day. And the ice dams last year were horrible.
Yeah.
And I know that was kind of a number one problem with a lot of homeowners last year were those ice dams. I know like in the back of our house off of our sunroom, it actually started leaking water in the spring.
Yeah, because water's got to go somewhere.
Yep, and that is scary. You don't want water damage or any of that stuff. So now we had to go gut everything out and clean it all up and whatnot. So this year we have heat strips on. Super important to do. They have helped already so much. Like the snow is melting off in those areas. So like I said, it might be a little too late right now, but if the snow does melt off of your roof and you have had ice dam problems in the past, definitely get heat strips on.
Sure.
They're super easy to install. That's a must. My second one here is if you can't get heat strips on and it's too late and it just keeps snowing, keeping your roofs clean by getting like a snow rake will go a long way too, to just start kind of getting all of that snow off of your roof to prevent ice dams. I know last year I tried doing that and it didn't help 100%, but it definitely helped to just start getting all of that snow off, especially on your garage.
Yeah.
Clearing those gutters and stuff
and you
like
know,
that.
you might also want to get up if you have an attic. You might want to
Yes.
get up there and check your insulation. A lot of that has to do with that because you might be losing heat through that part of your, and not getting any sun.
Right.
So the heat's going to come right out. Things are going to melt, and that's how you get the ice dams. But
Exactly.
a lot of people don't think about these
A lot
things.
of people don't think about that, especially younger homeowners like myself. It's just not something that I ever knew. Like, that's something Dad always took care
Sure.
of. I never had to do all of that stuff growing up. But I will say that is kind of another issue in our house is we do have lower insulation in our attic.
Okay.
So that is something that definitely get that checked out too. If you're continuously having those issues, add some insulation.
Okay.
And then cleaning out your gutters. So right now it's probably too late.
Yeah,
but
I didn't do mine.
I know. We actually got it's like I don't even know. It's like a metal grate that goes on top.
Yeah.
And it prevents leaves and...
Those are nice.
Yeah.
Did you have that professionally installed? Did somebody come in and do that?
We did, because we just had our roof redone this last spring.
Sure.
So-
Because I just put a new roof on my house too, and I need to put some new gutters back on because I tore them all off. But was thinking about doing the same thing because I'm surrounded by full-grown trees. I mean, I live in a freaking jungle.
Yeah,
you
we
know?
have like a chokecherry tree, and it's just a mess.
Oh,
and those
yeah.
berries and stuff. Yeah. Our gutters were getting very clogged. So that is something that you could do too, but it might be a little too late now.
Okay.
So, okay, the next one, this one you can do is check your windows. If you have older windows and you feel drafts coming in, definitely seal those up. Because it's going to help with your utility costs as well. So, and then that way you don't have to go out and get like all brand new windows, because I know that's really expensive.
Very.
This one I didn't know about until I got into real estate, and this is something that's important to do, is reverse your ceiling fans if you have them. Just because this helps bring that heat back down and circulate into the room, especially if it's on like an open main floor. And then this can also help with your utility cost as well.
You know, I live in a log house with a vaulted ceiling, and so we have a loft. And I was always under the assumption that in the winter you put your fans to blow down because heat rises and it blows. But no, that's actually the opposite. And it was my wife that told me that, and I didn't believe her. So I looked it up. I Googled it, and she was right. It's more or less to circulate.
Yeah.
But that is a huge issue, your ceiling fans.
Yeah, and then like most ceiling fans have a switch where you can just go and switch and reverse it. But just, check out your ceiling fan. See, you might have to YouTube or Google how to switch it, but it is pretty easy to do. Okay, next one. If you haven't already, bring in your outdoor furniture or at least get it covered. Again, if there's snow all over it now, it might really be a good idea to bring it in. It's just going to last longer if you can cover them or bring them in. So don't neglect your outdoor furniture. I know I see a lot of people keep like their trampolines outside in the winter, and each snowfall, it gets a little bit lower and lower and lower. And then the next summer, it's taken down because it's all ruined and stuff.
Yeah, or at least put a cover on it and try to keep the snow on, because one thing people don't realize here is you can have something outside if it's ready to sit out there in the winter, but it's the sun that just destroys everything. And I have that same issue with the lawnmowers and tractors and four-wheelers and boats and things like that. But yeah, the winter and the sun, they can really damage a lot of stuff.
It really can, yeah. Okay, next one is prepare for snow removal. So now that we've had snowfall, just be a friendly neighbor. Help out your neighbors, making sure that you are, if you live in a neighborhood, doing your sidewalks, because, a lot of people around here like to go on walks with their dogs or families, and it's really dangerous when your path isn't shoveled. So just make sure you're doing that.
And your mailman, UPS, and FedEx guys really appreciate that too.
Exactly. My neighbor, he'll go from his front door and snowblow a path through his lawn to our house so that the mailman doesn't have to go all the way down the driveway.
Wow.
And it's like, that's kind of nice.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And, we do, like, okay, I shouldn't say we. When Hunter snow blows, he'll go and do the whole sidewalk, down.
Well, once you're going, you might as well keep rolling, right?
Exactly. He enjoys it. It's like, it's fun for him. I don't know.
Well, the first couple of times are always fun.
Yeah. But, this weekend or the last time it snowed, was it this weekend, I think?
Yeah. It was bad.
Yeah. And both neighbors came and thanked him, and they were so appreciative. So just be nice to your neighbors. If you are out snow blowing, just do a little bit more.
Yeah. And don't blow your snow into your neighbor's yard.
Right.
There you go.
And also don't shovel the heavy wet snow, because then that's it can be very dangerous if you're older.
Oh, yeah.
That's where you see like a lot of heart attacks and stuff.
Yeah, like my
that.
age.
So, yeah, don't be afraid to ask for help.
You weren't supposed to say yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I was zoned out getting into the next one.
Okay.
I lost brownie points there, didn't I?
No, I'll let it slide this time.
Okay, the next one is test your smoke and carbon monoxide detectors.
Yeah.
Just making sure those are working, put new batteries in them. We don't want any dangerous malfunctions happening inside of your house in the wintertime.
Right.
There's been a lot of house fires lately of people I know. So
And on that note, too, if you don't mind me adding, check your furnace filter.
Yep, that's another
because this
one.
is when it's really running a lot. So,
Yep. Insulate exposed pipes. That one's important too.
Yeah.
Make sure, that was my next one, make sure that you get your furnace serviced too, just because in those low temps, the last thing you want is your furnace to go out and the companies are backed up and they can't get to you.
Sure, and if it goes out on like Christmas Eve, which is a Sunday, you might be a cold Christmas for you.
Exactly. Yep. The company in town, is it Valandre or
Valandre?
Valandre's.
Yep.
I just found out they have 24/7 maintenance team,
Yep,
which I did not know about. So
Yep.
if anything does happen, they are a good resource to call.
Yeah, in fact, they were working at Purple Arena last night.
Yeah, they work like all throughout the night.
Yeah, they were working on something, and one of the assistant coaches for Grand Forks Central works for Valandry, and I said, your boys are here working right now, and he's like, really?
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're there all the time.
Yeah, I've had I have 2 clients that work for them, and they have been amazing, even just like following up with me and stuff like that.
Sure, yeah.
And that's how I found out that they have that maintenance crew.
Okay.
So. Okay, next one. If you are someone who goes down south for the winter time and leave this area, making sure you keep your thermostat like above 60 or even winterizing your house just to prevent any damages happening inside of your home.
Right. And have somebody take care of your walk.
Yep.
Yeah.
Snow removal, everything like that. Weather stripping on doors, replace those if needed. That's just kind of like an easy maintenance one. I think my car weather stripping needs to be redone too.
Oh, yeah.
Sump pump hoses as well. I know the city of Grand Forks has been putting out reminders to remove the hoses in neighborhoods unless you have a permit. But just monitoring those, especially on warmer days where the snow starts to melt.
Yeah.
I know my very first year living in our house, I didn't really know much about sump pumps, and especially people who are moving here from the south probably don't have to worry too much about sump pumps. I know sometimes during showings, people will ask me what a sump pump is.
Yeah.
So just make sure you're monitoring that to prevent your basements from flooding and stuff like that.
Sure.
This one is kind of the same as like you were talking about the furnace filter, but also your dryer vents.
On
the exterior of your house, just making sure like snow isn't clogging those, get those cleaned out. And then any like exhaust pipes on the exterior of your house, making sure throughout the winter that snow is not covering those as well.
Yeah, and another thing too, your sewer vents from your bathroom, they're a little pipe that sticks out the roof. Sometimes if you start to smell like rotten eggs in your house, it means they could just be freezing up. Very simple fix. Go up there with hot water and you dump hot water down it and it just goes right back into the toilet and things are good. But yeah, those vents, you got to watch it because the moisture coming out will start to icicle up and pretty soon things are plugged up and that could be dangerous.
Very dangerous. I wonder how many calls each winter like firefighters get based off of that smell, because that could be like a gas smell too.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, that's pretty much my list of the winter maintenance tips. Of course, there's always so many more. Each year, even just being a homeowner, I learn of so many things that I need to add to my to-do list. But yeah, just stay safe this winter. And then realtors, we have so much experience and knowledge based off of other clients' mishaps that have happened. So if you are, curious or you have questions about anything, we have the resources to reach out to companies. If you need snow removal, anything like that, we're here to help. So.
And sure, and you know what? If you are on the West Coast or somewhere in a warmer climate and you're watching this podcast and you're thinking about moving up here in the land of nice people and all of that, don't let these things scare you away. Like you said, your realty expert's going to tell you about this stuff, going to tell you how to take care of it. And it might sound scary, all this list we went through, but it's really not that bad.
It's really not. And the nice thing about the Grand Forks community is everyone is just so willing to help each other
Right,
that,
right.
you know, even your next door neighbor can help you out.
Yep. Especially if you're new to the area and you're not
Exactly.
used to this kind of
Yeah.
stuff, you know?
Yep.
All right. How does somebody get a hold of realty expert Katlyn Soli?
My number is 320-267-6692, and you can call or text me anytime, any day.
And we wish you and your family a very, very Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Yeah, I won't be back on until after the new year.
Yep.
So everyone have a happy holiday season.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
There you go. Your realty expert, Katlyn Soli, for the week. Your Berkshire Hathaway bi-weekly podcast is in the books. We'll have another one for you coming up next Wednesday.